Okay. Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming out today. This is, if you don't already know, a focus group for a social marketing class, and we're creating a product based around the topic of binge drinking and its effect on campus. Everything's anonymous, so everybody has a number in front of them. So if when you speak, just kind of make an effort to try to say your number before you say something. Your names won't be used. Nothing's being used. It's only being recorded just so our teacher can see that we actually did the focus group and didn't make everything up. If you've been to our focus group before, this is kind of a different format. We're going to be showing you different like videos or some type of PSA or flyer or whatnot, and then there's like 2 questions. We'll have you guys write down the answers, like a brief answer to, and then we'll have kind of like a discussion portion to kind of talk about it and try to get those ideas out. We're trying to see like what kind of PSAs are effective, what you guys like about them, what you guys don't like, what can be improved, that kind of stuff. All right, makes sense? Anybody have any questions before we start? And there's also snacks back there if you guys want any ice cream. Okay, so the first one's going to be a video, right? So the first question, these are the 2 questions that were asked just a written response to. The first one being, what was your internal reaction to the video? Like fear, sadness, happiness, regret, anger, depression, frustration, discomfort are kind of examples, but like what kind of stuck out to you about that video? Like how did you feel when watching that? If nothing, you can write nothing. And then as you're finishing that up, the next question is what's something you didn't like about that video that you thought that they could do better to kind of convey that message? Give it another couple seconds. Alrighty. The next one is this flyer. I'll leave it up for a couple minutes for you guys to read it. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you see that image? then the next question is calorie count something you guys consider when you consume alcoholic beverages? Like, does that help determine what you choose to drink or how much you drink? Another couple seconds to wrap it up. So going back to the first video, does somebody want to share like any of their answers or something they felt strongly about that first video, like what they liked, what they didn't like about that? Like did it do a good job like showing the message, or what kind of message did you get out of it from what they were trying to say?
I was kind of discouraged and didn't see how much approach to it, and just like everything mentioned, like adds up and that kind of stuff.
Anybody else, reactions to the video, or about something they could have improved to get their point across better? Yeah, what number?
3.
30?
I just said that they could have made it like a don't be that person instead of it like the nothings like that. Some people don't put it necessarily like that.
Good point. Okay, going on to this one. So, how big of a factor is like calorie content for you guys when you guys choose a drink? Is it a factor at all? Is it not? Not something you guys think about really. What? Go ahead.
Number 11 is also not something that would have the information readily available for.
Do you think if the information was more readily available, that would kind of have a factor in what you would choose?
Yeah.
Okay. Take a second to read this. So the first question being, what part of that infographic did you guys remember the most? And then I'll go back to it in a second once everybody's wrapped up. Out of all the stuff that's listed on there, either pictures, words, facts, what about that is the most surprising or shocking to you guys? There's, if any, if there's none, you can write none, but. So if you guys were, say, approached like at Scramble Light or the Atrium and someone handed you a flyer like this, but like personalized with Ball State's information or just colleges in general, how would you guys react to that? Like what's something, like would you read it, would you toss it, like what kind of reaction would you have to it?
If it was like personally for Ball State, I would definitely read it.
10?
10, yeah.
So you say if it's like specifically our campus, it'd be more of an effective.
Yeah, I can read it, and then I'm tossed up there way.
And your number is
4.
4. Okay, thank you. So is that the majority, like people would just read it and toss it? Would there be an instance where you would feel like you would want to keep it, like if there was something on there to make you want to keep it at all, like? We have another video. Was this PSA effective in making you rethink your decisions while partying at all? Did it have an effect on what you would do? And as you're wrapping that up, like what could have been done to kind of improve that impact? Like what could they have changed about that video to make it more like attention grabbing or more effective on how you party? So like we've watched 2 videos so far comparing like this one to the last one. Which ones do you guys like better and why?
Number 5. I felt like the first one was like more like made me not want to drink, and like the second one kind of showed like having a good time until like the very end. So like that one wasn't really effective.
Okay. Thank you. So, do you shake your head in agreement?
Yeah.
6.
So agree.
So the first one's more effective because it was more personalized to one person as opposed to showing more fun. Anything else about the videos? Like, did anybody like the second one better?
Number 11, I thought it was interesting how the second one dealt with like, kind of had all the options that they could choose from. It was I mean, you could tell it was marketed towards guys because the video game, like, choose how you're gonna respond kind of element. But I thought that was kind of interesting.
Going off of what she said, I think the first one seemed like it was more effective towards like girls, because like it's based off like your appearance and how she looked in the video, and then that might be more effective for girls, and then for guys, like the second one, she dividing and just having the different options.
That was a really good point. 7, right?
Yeah.
So for the guys in the room, I guess, is that true for you guys? Did you guys find the first one more effective than the second one, or did you guys find the second one more effective than the first one? Because it was more, I guess, what was said is geared towards guys for the video game aspect.
The second one made it look more fun at the beginning, like partying could be fun, but the fighting part shows how you fighting. Number 4.
Or,
Yeah, number 9, I thought the first one was more base, or more for girls because of the gear and stuff, like I said.
so is there anything that could be done to kind of gear towards the male population, do you think, that they could have changed in the first one, have like a guy in there, or the second one where we could kind of, where you think it would be more effective for you guys personally as opposed to just geared towards girls?
Maybe I think a guy in the first one, but I don't know.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fine, that's totally fine. Okay. So here's the next flyer. Okay, so what was your immediate reaction to that image? Or did it make you think of somebody, or that works too, if you thought of somebody like your roommate or you last Friday. And then, did this kind of make you think about the consequences of binge drinking, or kind of feel like, hey, maybe I shouldn't drink too much because this could happen, kind of thing? No. Or do you guys think this is kind of like normal, that you don't even think about it anymore, and it's not part of your drinking considerations? Like, you know, you're gonna puke, so whatever. 6.
I feel like I don't know, I feel like there's more like stronger things that would drive me to not drink, like, I don't know, like on the plane pregnancy, maybe you do have sex, you were drinking or something like that. Like this isn't necessarily good for me, but something with like worse consequences, like getting arrested or something, like maybe make me.
Do you guys think like the humor factor kind of brought your attention to it? Or did it kind of negate the message that it was given?
I think humor factor is good, where it's kind of like, because you can just like laugh at looking at it, it's not as serious, but also like you think about it like it's pretty gross, so. Just makes you want
Yes, General, I see some heads nodding. Do you think you guys would respond better to like something like this that's funny, or something that's gonna, like, number 6 was saying, that's scary, that's gonna kind of frighten you into not doing it?
I would rather see personally the funny ones, just because sometimes when you see the ones that are more serious or scary, like it kind of like, they're just like looking at like the bad parts of drinking and the very worst consequence, which is good to know, but also having a little more lighthearted and funny sometimes helps too.
So like, the having someone sit down and talk about their family member that died from binge drinking is kind of like, do you think it's overheard?
Like on TV, I feel like you see a lot of those, it's just really sad, so like people sometimes pay attention to them, or like will turn the channel if it comes on, because they already know what they're gonna say.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Okay.
I would agree with that. I think it just makes people like tune out because it's not what they want to hear, because if people want to party, then they want to, regardless of the side effects. So I think this is a good way to like reach people in a different way.
10?
Yeah, and I think with the more serious ads, it kind of brings up like that, oh, that could never happen to me. Whereas like we all laugh at that because that's happened to people before. So I think that definitely relates more to the general population.
3?
For the funny ones, like when you do go out and drink with your friends, sometimes like your friends will say like don't end up with your head in the toilet. instead of saying like, oh, you'll end up dancing drinking. So I feel like the can actually be like said when you go out instead of like, you just stand in the moment the sounds.
So making it more relatable makes it more like effective?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Anything else? Okay. This is the next one. What consequences of high-risk drinking does this image provoke? Is this something you guys like think about or are concerned about, guys or girls? Like, is this a concern of your guys when you guys go out and drink to the bars or house parties or whatnot? Do you think this is like a good consequence to kind of focus on to get you to rethink it, or is this just not, it's just another one of those statistics that they just say to scare you?
It's a good one that shows like the ones when, just like from showing right there, it doesn't seem as scary until you think about it, like she said earlier, like the pregnancy or like other things, but just like seeing it at first is kind of like funny and like maybe relatable, and then if you think about it more, then you might have a stronger thing.
Anybody else thoughts on this type of campaign? Like, it's not really a concern of you guys going out and drinking. This happening is not a concern at all, or is it, or is? Again, it's all anonymous, like no one's gonna judge you or, you know, it's all good. We have another video.
Well, drinking was, you know what it is. As we get older, especially as college students, you need to make wiser decisions. Because if you make one bad decision, it can lead to two. For example, you get in the car, hit and kill somebody. Messed up. So we just need to be smarter. Instead of going 6 and 7 drinks, let's just take 3 and 4. You know, don't drive, go home. And, you know, the days of getting sloppy drunk at the campus parties, those days are done. This unsafe drinking has got to stop now.
Do you feel more compelled to listen to the message that someone like Shaq is the one saying it? Why or why not? I guess we can broaden that to not just Shaq, but like celebrities in general. Do you think if there's like, think of your favorite celebrity or favorite music star, like if they were the ones to give the message, do you think that would be as effective as, say, someone on campus, like a fellow student that said it? to wrap it up. So like a lot of media-driven campaigns, like you see a lot of celebrities on there, like everyone's seen the Sarah McLachlan sad puppy video, like Adopt My Pet, all that kind of stuff. Do you guys normally like tune it out? Do you guys listen more if it's somebody that you know and recognize? Like how does a celebrity being on there affect the message that's being said?
I think with this one, it didn't really have an effect on me, just because he felt like he was just like telling us, he didn't really have like a story or anything behind it or something that was like more like personal. It was just kind of him telling us something.
So like, yeah, go ahead.
Kind of the same thing she said, like, if they would have chosen someone that's not necessarily a role model, like maybe the Charlie Sheen or somebody, to tell you about it, like who's been in the public eye and been in trouble like that, it might have been more effective.
So someone with experience to kind of relay that experience rather than just reading something they were given?
Yeah.
And someone who had struggled with like alcohol abuse or something, especially a celebrity seeing them, like coming forward and saying that would probably be more effective.
Number 5, yeah, like as a celebrity, like, yeah, he's gonna catch my attention, but like, he's not very credible, so I'm probably not gonna listen to his message.
Do you think you would say that you're more like put off by the message, like you're a little bit less receptive to it because it's a celebrity as than you normally would?
Yeah, because I know he's just like reading a script. So it's not like personal history.
Who do you think, like, would you like to hear from, like, if we were to create a video such as this, and who would you like to see? Kind of, that would have the most effect, like a college athlete, like just somebody that's on campus, yeah, 11?
Yeah, going off what 3 said, I think it might be better to have someone who didn't have so much to lose by giving the more objective side of it. If you feel like if you use someone on campus, who, I feel like they would just reiterate what they think they're supposed to say, and not necessarily what they actually think on the subject. And I think that kind of might be what was wrong with Shaquille, is that it sounded scripted, and it sounded like he was just saying what he was expected to say.
There are 2 different, videos, or not videos, but like flyers are kind of saying the same thing. The bottom part on the left, on both of them I get, no, on the left. When your friends drink, they can end up making bad decisions like going home with someone they don't know very well. Decisions like that leave them vulnerable to dangers like date rape. Help your friends stay safe, stay in control and stay safe. And the one on the right says, when your friends get drunk, they lose their inhibitions and their common sense. They're more likely to have unprotected sex, risking STDs and unwanted pregnancies. Be a good friend, hang on to your good judgment, and make sure no one wakes up with regret tomorrow. Okay. So what was kind of the reaction to both of those flyers? Do you guys want to share it instead of writing, I guess, this time? Like what went through your mind when you saw those? 12?
I thought that it was scary, because that does happen to a lot of people.
Do you see a lot more than people would realize? Anybody else? Like, what do you guys think? What went through your mind? 2?
I kind of like how it is more focused on your looking out for your friends rather than just yourself. It's kind of a different spin on it, but just another aspect of being smart.
Would you guys say like that would be a better way to do it? Kind of take care of your friends rather than just kind of take care of yourself? Where do you think that these type of like flyers or posters should be hung to be seen? Like the back of bathroom stalls, like out in on the board by the scramble light, where would you guys notice it the most? Guthrie?
Definitely bathrooms, like, if they were in bathrooms of bars, people would probably look at those in bathrooms, or libraries, or wherever, like, the general population usually.
Especially since there's like two different ones, like one seems like it's targeted towards girls and other towards guys, just because like both of those are pretty shocking, but each of them might be shocked a little differently about it.
What kind of stuff, I know some of you, like you were saying, when you go out with your friends, you say like, don't get your head in the toilet, like what kind of stuff do you guys, like when you go out drinking with your friends, is there like a plan you guys have, is there like jokes that you guys say to kind of make sure everybody's coming back together? Or not, like, it's not really a plan or anything, just gonna go off?
5, I think we usually say something like, let's all make it home tonight by ourselves, like, let me wake up next to just myself. Make sure I come home by myself.
I just had my 21st, and so I said to my best friend, I said, make sure I come home with you, or no matter what I say, I take you home with you, so I mean, I can kind of relate to that.
This is the next message. What part do you remember most about that image? Like, person, the words, like what stuck out to you? What do you remember about that?
Are you writing this or something?
We can just talk about the rest of them.
I would say that the phrase in general was, it catches your attention because that's not something people would say at a party, like, keep your self-control, it's more attractive. Even though people do get sloppy, but no one ever says like, you're sloppy, it's unattractive, but.
But they think it.